Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to show you my Crimson Princess Hoyas. Okay, now these are two different plants here. Actually, this plant is two different plants in one planter. This is a Carnosa, no variegation, no nothing, just a plain old Carnosa with a Crimson Princess with the white variegation. Beautiful, beautiful plant. And this one over here is the Crimson Princess. So I have these two growing in semi-hydro. This one on the left is in lava rock, which always works really well for me in an array of different plants. This one here is in something called Buddy Stone. You can get it on Amazon. It's recycled glass that they crush up and they add some sort of chemical to it so it starts to fizz, and then it solidifies into stones, and it's like really big perlite, as you can see. My only issue with this medium, obviously this plant loves it. Look at the roots, they went nuts in here. But it's very, very, very lightweight, like very lightweight. And it also doesn't wick moisture all the way up, probably because there are so many air pockets, because the stones are actually a little bit larger. Consistently, they're larger than the lava rock. So they don't interlock and they're very light. They are very porous. You can see all those little holes in them, but again, not my favorite medium, and a lot of plants that I've experimented with don't do so great in that medium because of that. I have some pothos that are in it and they're doing fine, but some of the other plants I tried, they just either dried out too much, or when I water them too much, the stones float to the surface. The lava rock, on the other hand, is always a winner in my book. You can see the roots love that one too. I love my lava rock. The only thing that I've had an issue with is I've been experimenting for a while now, trying to find out what works the best in this environment, because this is such an unusual grow space that I'm in now. What works the best for these plants, because they kind of stalled. The roots started to dry up and get papery, and they weren't surviving. So I realized I wasn't watering them enough. I know they're epiphytes, they need more moisture. So I started to water them more, and I started to mist them to keep that humidity in the area. And sure enough, that started to do the trick. I'm starting to get some trails now. As you can see, let me get this guy here. You can see I'm getting some trailing happening. This one is really nice here, which is great because I have not yet had them bloom for me. And I really, really want them to bloom because I'm looking forward to Hoya blooms. I have a bunch of different Hoya, but still have yet to get any of them to bloom for me. And probably because I have not really mastered how to work with them in this environment. But, of course, through my experimentation, I also have some growing in polyester and nylon. This is a Lacunosa, Hoya Lacunosa, and doing just fine. It's been in this medium for quite some time now, and it did not show any downward spirals, nothing like that. It isn't really taking off. I'm getting some root growth at the nodes, but it's not going crazy. I don't know if Lacunosa is supposed to be a fast grower or anything, but I'm not really wowed by it. But again, Hoya aren't really the fastest growers. I also then decided to take another Crimson Princess and put it in some nylon. So this is a more recent transfer, but the plant so far is doing well. No issues. And, I'll keep an eye on it just to see how it does. But I know, I don't want to say I know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to do great, because the whole start of this yarn garden, yarn medium situation was I had a Hoya curtisii, really, really cool looking plant, and it did not like the soil that it was in. I never transplanted it. I never did anything with it. I tried putting it outside in the summer, thinking maybe that'll help. No such luck. The plant was on the decline and just continued to, strand by strand started to die. So I took cuttings, and I took them, and I didn't know what to do with them because I wasn't sure. Am I going to put them in lava rock? Am I going to put them in bark? I don't know what I'm going to do, or even in sphagnum moss. I didn't know what to do. So I took them, and I just stuck them in some damp yarn. Well, that's how this whole thing started, because this has been in yarn for close to a year, maybe more. I'm not even sure, but it's definitely been quite some time. And you can see the reason why I started on this whole yarn quest is look at these roots. They just started going nuts and circling the bottom wherever it stayed moist. Now this is a very coarse yarn, so it doesn't wick moisture well, and it just stayed moist only at the bottom. You could see the difference in coloration. These cuttings were only like maybe 2 inches long. Now they're like 4 to 5 inches long on each side. So, and then you can see new growth points happening at the ends. And this is where it started, guys. This is where my whole obsession with nylon and polyester was born. I don't particularly like this brand or this style, this type of yarn, because it's not the best at absorbing moisture, but it definitely worked because I was able to save the plants. I have cuttings that I was able to root, and they're continuing to thrive now. So that's it. Before I lose the video for storage issues, if you have any questions on anything that I've shown you here about Hoya, I mean, I'm not the expert on Hoya at all, so definitely do your research if you have questions about Hoya care and getting them to bloom, because I'm learning myself and it's a work in progress. But if you have any questions about semi-hydro with lava rock with buddy stone, or nylon or polyester, please reach out. I love talking about this stuff, as most of you already know. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be notified. And I will see you in the very next video.